Matthias had never stayed up all night in his life. He was just a bit tired, but strangely excited. Great events seemed to have been set in motion by his news. Immediately upon being informed of the hay cart incident, the abbot had insisted upon calling a special council meeting of all Redwall creatures. Once again, Cavern Hole was packed to the doors, but this time it was for a purpose very different from the feast. Constance and Matthias stood in front of the council of elders. All about them was a hum of whispers and muttering. Abbot Mortimer called order by ringing a small bell. Pay attention, everyone. Constance and Matthias, would you please tell the council what you saw tonight on the road to St. Ninian's? As clearly as they could, the badger and the young mouse related the incident of the rat-infested hay cart. The council began questioning them. Rats, you say, Matthias? What type of rat? Inquired Sister Clemens. Big ones, Matthias replied, though I'm afraid I couldn't say what kind they were or where they had come from. What about you, Constance? Well, I remember that my old granddad once knew a sea rat, she answered. Going by his description, I'd say that's what they looked like to me. And how many would you say there were of these rats? Father Abbot asked. Couldn't say for sure, Father Abbot. There must have been hundreds. Matthias? Oh yes, Father. I'd agree with Constance. At least 400. Did you notice anything else about them, Constance? Indeed I did, Father Abbot. My badger senses told me right off that these were very bad and evil rats. The badger's statement caused uproar and shouts of nonsense, pure speculation, and that's right, give a rat a bad name. Without even thinking, Matthias raised a paw and shouted aloud, Constance is right. I could feel it myself. There was one huge rat with a ferret skull on a pole. I got a good look at him. It was like seeing some horrible monster. In the silence that followed, the abbot rose and confronted Matthias. Stooping slightly, he stared into the young mouse's bright eyes. Think carefully, my son. Was there anything special you noticed about this rat? Matthias thought for a moment. Everyone was watching him. He was much bigger than the others, Father. What else? Think, Matthias. I remember. He only had one eye. Right or left? Left, I think. Yes, it was the left, Father. Now, can you recall anything about his tail? I certainly can, Matthias squeaked. It must have been the longest tail of any rat alive. He held it in his claw as if it were a whip. The abbot paced up and down before turning to the assembly. Twice in my lifetime I have heard travelers speak of this rat. He bears a name that a fox would be afraid to whisper in the darkness of midnight. Cluny the Scourge.